Okay, so we're coming up to the top of the hour today. Maybe we're going a little longer. I did say if we could, we will go longer. Um, I guess the wife's out doing things that she should bring the car back because I have to get it inspected. And we want to do that so we can send off the tag fee. All right, so um, don't send the tag fee in first anymore in this day because they sent my check back. They never did that. Not in 15 years. Um, they usually just send you a note. You got to get your car inspected. Okay, so luckily I fixed the car. It was down for months. I finally fixed it. Oh my gosh. I don't want. That's another subject. And thanks to the YouTubes, they're very helpful. Anyone who says YouTubes aren't helpful is, probably just saying compared to focused lessons. But they don't have focused lessons on how to fix cars that have common problems. So that's why car fix YouTubes are good, because certain cars have come up with the same problems. So you got the problem repeated in a number of those cars, so they make a YouTube about it, and that helps people. They're very helpful, extremely. So here we go. We got the top three strings here. Now when I say the top three strings, I mean G, B, and E. You should know what I mean. This is the high E. This is the low E. Whatever. And in the middle. And when I say E, actually this is a fret nut here. So this is the root box. I mean, it could be anything. Actually the E would be here in the key of C, which would be the third of the key of C. So we would have the E here, we would have the E here, and the E here. This would be middle C here. Okay, this would be lower C, kind of thing. Pretty sure that's how it goes. Let's test it. So we have here, I'm going to do a C here. Here's middle C. Sounds right. And then the C down here in the C box. Sounds right. So our E up there above the third of this is okay, and then therefore we have one octave below that, which is this guy, hopefully, and then we have down here another E. Alright, that's what I'm talking about. So we look at the top three strings. We've got that high E up there. Okay, that's one E above, two E's above low E. So that's this guy. All right. So here's root. Here's 5. This is fun. You know what I'm saying? This is fun if you know where you are. I messed up because I was looking at the board. Anyway, piano players definitely like to look at those notes. There's nothing wrong with looking at notes, okay? It's just that it's so much easier to learn guitar in the structured way where you know where those notes are. It's almost like typing. Sure, you want to look at it, but you want to know where it is. So you use your eyes when you have to. So here we got the top three strings. Now let's look at this. Let's look at the root 3-5 triad, okay? Root 3-5 triad, major triad. Talk about it, key of C, key of A, key of E, key of D, key of G, whatever, key of B flat, whatever. It's just root 3-5. Top three strings. Now what's this say? Any triad chord that forms on the bottom 3 strings repeats itself on the top 3 strings. One pentatonic letter to the left. Any triad that forms on the top 3 strings repeats itself one caged letter to the right on the bottom 3 strings. Unfortunately, I know what that means. So if we start here with a 3-5 root right here, first inversion, 3-5 root. Here's root, root 3-5, here's 3-5 root, here's 5 root 3, second inversion. Okay, so here's a 3-5 root. On the bottom strings, one cage over from the root is in this E string shape. One cage position is C, A, G, E, D. D down here, we're going to have that same 3-5 root, but this time we're going to start on the 3. So we're working backwards here. Root 5-3, root 5-3, one cage over in the D cage, 3-5 root. That's all that's saying. That's all it's saying. You start a 5 root 3 here. In what cage is this? The 5 root 3 down here is your C cage, because look, 5 root 3, 5 root 3. Here's your C triad, root 3, 5, root. So use action fingers, root 3 and root. 5 is open string. So you start in the C cage with 5 root 3. This is like an E move down one string. You ever do those and wonder like, oh, there's something to that? You know, I got my E here. But it sounded good, but it didn't, because see, in the open string you'd hit this G here, okay, and in the key of E, when you're playing a second inversion E, okay, like that. See, that isn't even an E, that's like an E sus2. That's what I did, but if we brought that up, we'd get our E, so it'd be so. Needless to say, we're looking at triads here. We're not looking at, are we going to be able to play this open string? Okay, that's another part. That might be the missing link part, but we have to learn this at one time or another. Okay, so we have in the C box here 5 root 3, and then now going to the left, we got to go a pentatonic, which is the word cage backwards. So C doesn't go to A, it goes to D. So we're going to go up to the D here. We'll look for the 3 in the D string shape. Remember, the string shapes surround, the notes surround the letter. So it's either one note or 2 half notes, buddies, on either side. 3 and 4, and then there's 7 in root. Okay? So we go 5 root 3 in the C box. Okay, it goes to 5 root 3 in the D box. Right here. Here's your D cage, D tripentatonic cage. 5 root 3 in the A box. Alright, this is in the A box now, but it's also in the C box. It's written up here. 5 root 3. Now, why we don't write 5 root 3 green down here is because we're looking at separately the bottom 3 strings here. Okay, and looking at the C cage up here. Right, so sure, if I drew this C down here, this C banner down here, we got a 5 root 3 in the C box also. Okay, so that remember, you know, some boxes share the same stuff. As a matter of fact, most boxes share the same stuff. Let's look at the A, 5 root 3 crossing over the barrier here. And so this is getting into the missing link, the upper middle 3 strings. Strings 2, 4, 3, 4, and 5. Okay, now that's backwards to what most people think.